guys, what's going on? It's Stef here. I hope you've been well. I know I have, and it's time for another metal detecting relic hunting adventure. In this week's episode, I take one more whack at the Victorian cellar hole that I found deep in the woods, and I am so glad that I went back. Because hiding just a few inches in the ground was one of my favorite coins the US ever minted, and per usual, I got on some really cool fancy relics as well. I'm really liking these Victorian sites. So before I say any more about the coins or relics that I found for the day, let's hop in. Well, this looks pretty awesome. I'm sorry I didn't film the target. It's about maybe a 40, 41, not too deep, maybe 6 or 7 inches. I don't consider that to be terribly deep anyway. I just got it out over here, and I gave it a quick fondle and put it back down. It looks like we have a brass ring of some sort. Let's see here. Is this a wedding band? So in the late 1800s to maybe up to like early 1900s, or earlier back than that, I should say. Sorry, been a while since I filmed, so I'm kind of stuttering my way through this. But in any case, when people couldn't afford gold, they would buy brass. And sometimes the manufacturers of these rings were not terribly honest, and they'd be stamped 18K on the inside of the band when in fact they were just plated. And I'm talking like 1800s into the early 1900s for that. This, if it doesn't have a stamp, could be older. I've heard of some dating back to the 1700s, so it's interesting. Let me give it a brush down, and I will come back. Well, there we have it. It is indeed a brass wedding band. It may have had some gilding on it at some point, or this could go back earlier, and I always get squawked at when I say this, but sometimes these can be fur trade related. Not generally, though. I mean, usually those are a bit more decorative. But I don't see that 18K stamp that we normally see in the mid 1800s up to early 1900s bands, so I would have to wager a guess and say this is on the earlier side, but tough telling, not knowing. But either way, that meant something to somebody a long time ago, and I'm sure that they were very upset to lose it. Those are always my favorite types of finds, so really happy with that. We'll keep moving. Well, I have done a few failed live digs since that brass ring, which was found just on the other side of that wall. Tripped across this signal, seems pretty good, so we're going to go for it. Appears to have some decent depth. Looks pretty girthy. Girthy. Anyway, let's check out what that is. Hopefully something old and something cool. So the target was not as large as I thought, but sometimes lead will give you a messy trace on the screen like that. This machine loves lead for some reason. I've dug more lead with this machine than probably any other alloy. That's probably a lie. I don't know. Anyway, we have a smashed up musket ball. You can actually see where the top of the casting seam was when this was in a mold, so that's pretty cool. But this side completely flat because it hit something with a heck of a force. Probably, maybe the rock wall. Who knows? One can only guess. But anyway, it's a relic, so it's coming home. All right, this one's either really large, shallow, or both. Funky trace on the 2D screen, but hey, it's a non-ferrous target, so you know I'm gonna dig it. Can't even get a good angle. But certainly sizable, so hey, maybe it's a cool big relic. That would be the hope. Boy, was I ever off. I started digging a plug, and then I go out up with the pinpointer, and it was actually just under the leaves. Look at this in the sun. This is a beautiful piece, whatever it might be. It's massive, sorry. This is really tough when you're in sun and shade at the same time. But look at this fancy piece. It looks like it has, I thought they were hearts, maybe not, like a shield kind of shape going around. And this was certainly round at one time. So I kind of wonder if it's part of like a decorative lamp. I don't know. Curious piece, but it's absolutely beautiful. And that's, kind of why I'm starting to like these Victorian sites, because they really had a ton of fancy stuff. And what a big, beautiful target. I might even be able to anneal that and bend it back into shape. We'll see how I feel about it, but that's a really, really cool piece. All the more reason to keep hunting some Victorian sites mixed in with the colonial stuff, so very cool. We'll keep going. Just got a really nice target here that I'm pretty excited about. Take a look. Nice and tight, consistent numbers, high conductor. What's not to love? Well, unless it's junk. Oh boy, I am so excited right now. I couldn't help myself, and I looked at what this was. And if it's what I think it is, it's only the second one I have ever dug. And I love these coins. So, spoiler, it's a coin. And at first, because I'm usually at colonial sites, I'm like, what the heck is a farthing doing out here? Still could be what it is, but I had a better indication on the other side. Watch this be something totally different now. But I thought I saw, yep. Guys, my second 2-cent piece ever. I can't remember the dates offhand. These are 1864 to it might be 73, so maybe I did just surprise myself, but oh my goodness. That makes me so happy. So happy. And you can't see anything on the reverse, unfortunately. Maybe this was the side up in the ground, I'm not sure. But there would just be a 2 in the center. Maybe it's coming through there a little bit. But yeah, these were not terribly popular coins. Very odd denomination. Wow. Okay, I mean, seriously, the last time I dug one was over 6 years ago. 6 years ago. It was one of the first coins I ever dug. And I keep saying, every time I'm on a hunt with somebody and they dig one, I'm like, man, I can't wait to get another one. There it is. 2-cent piece. Oh, let's get in. All right. Let me brush this off. I'll come right back. And there you have it. After a quick brushing, you really can see the top of the 2 on the reverse coming through. Not so much. This might actually be a really worn out coin. I can't tell if it's just caked in dirt or if it's really, really worn out. But in any case, this is the obverse, and that's going to have a beautiful shield on it. I'll put a photo on the screen right now of a non-dug version since I don't have a whole lot of hope for this one, but what an exciting coin to find when we so seldom find these, you know. Definitely not an everyday find, and I couldn't be more excited. Yeah, I'm starting to see more details come through. There's the banner up there. Okay. Oh, that's awesome. I could stand here and stare at this slick 2-cent piece all day, but you know we got to keep digging, so that's exactly what we're going to do. That's phenomenal. I haven't even closed the hole up where the 2-cent piece was. What you might not know is that, well, maybe you do, I take photos of my finds from the field, fresh out of the dirt. Seems like that's what people want to see when they're looking at relic porn, kind of, you know. And so I came back and rechecked the hole after doing my little photo shoot. I've got no idea what's going on, but we might have a situation. We might have a situation. Well, after I went off camera to show you that there's another signal right next to the hole, I noticed that there were a few different signals in this area as a plane goes overhead. Sorry about the noise. Yeah, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for more coins. That's kind of funny. All right, so I'm going to come back, hopefully with another coin right out of there. That would be something. So this target was ringing up in the low 20s, and I've stopped filming those signals for the day. All the ammunition, you've heard me say it before. But this is not ammunition. It's something I actually do not have. I think, just upon first picking it up, I do recognize this part here because I've dug pieces of these. I believe this is a carpenter's ruler. So this actually would have expanded out. That's a hinge right there. And it's just absolutely crumbling in my hands. I'm surprised that the wood stayed intact for that long. I mean, it's easily 100 years old or more. So that's actually a fairly cool piece, just because I don't have one. Not in this shape anyway. It's always just the brass pieces that we find in metal detecting. So to have the whole thing is different and cool. I like that. I have a pretty small sounding target here. It is really masked by iron, but it's peeking through. There it is. It's pretty iffy, but you better believe I'm gonna dig it. I have had gold on the brain. I highly doubt that's solid gold. It's probably plated. This looks like a collar stud, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's plated. Tough to, oh yeah, I can see. There's the edge of the brass right there. Yep, so something along those lines. I can't remember the exact name for it right now. I do actually have a Sears catalog at home from 1897. So, and I know I've seen this in there before, so what I'll do is I will grab that right now and put a photo on the screen for you, just kind of giving you an idea exactly what this is in case I am messing up the ID. But cool little find, tiny little squeak amongst the iron and crapperoni that's trashed around this cellar. So gladly we'll take that, we'll keep moving. Well, here is something different that it's like vaguely familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. Maybe I'll figure it out when I get home. Ring up about a 38, 39. The trace looked like garbage, and I've been getting discouraged at how much ammunition I've been digging today, so I didn't film it. But here it lies. I just got it out of the hole. And it's definitely... Oh, can I just get some light? Thank you. It's definitely a piece of lead. It's like tapered on this end. It's thin. And then squared off at the bottom, and I can't tell if it's broken. If it is, that's a really old break. I'm perplexed by that one, guys. I'll brush it off if I see anything at all, just to try to determine what this is. I will come back, but if not, I might need your help on this one, so take a good look. You know what? Let me get in the sun. I'm getting frustrated being in the shade. So there's a better look at it. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Just a point of reference where I am right now. The finds date anywhere from on the very earliest side, like 1850s or 60s, up to about 1920. But this could be out of place, could be quite a bit older. I don't know. Your guess might be as good as mine, or hey, it might be better. So, alrighty. Hopefully we get a few more decent targets today. The sun's going down because it's winter, which I hate. But anyway, alrighty then. Something different. Seems like I have a decent sized target. Pretty low conductor. At least I don't think it's a 22 bullet. Let's see. Yay, it's not a 22 bullet. Something small and round. I suspect a button of some variety. Let's see. Never in the sun when I need to be. Is that the back side or the front? I think that's the back. No, that's the back. Oh no, are we missing the front? That would stink. Let me brush it off and I will come back. Hopefully it's just kind of smushed in there and it still remains, but let me check it out. Well, I see a back mark. And look at the front. Look at that beautiful button. Wow, it's not smashed in at all. Just a beautiful Victorian era button. It looks like it's some kind of flower motif. If it's something else, I'll get back to you. I can't really make anything else out, but that is a really cool button. I did brush it off just a little bit. Don't want to be too rough with it in the field here, but gorgeous little button. Just a wee squeak in the ground. Very, very nice. I am really pleased with that find. That's just beautiful. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this week. I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you did enjoy it, you've made it this far but you haven't already done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss a video from me in the future, because guys, next week, I hope, yes, I'm just going to say it, next week, I am finally releasing my Cape Cod adventure videos with Quarter Hoarder. His videos dropped probably about a month ago now. A couple of them were over a month ago, but I like to do things in chronological order, which is why it's taken me a little while to get down to it in the pipeline, but it's coming at you next week. Followed by some pretty crazy footage. Yeah, that none of you know about unless you follow me on social media elsewhere. That's all I'm going to say about that. But man, going back to this day, I was just so stoked to dig my second 2-cent piece ever. And if you didn't know, the 1864 and 1865 2-cent pieces are the ones that are most frequently dug because there's a much broader mintage of both of those years. So to find one that's not a 64 or 65 is a rarity, and the coin is a rarity all on its own. And that beautiful, worn-out 1869 2-cent piece made an otherwise so-so day in the field completely worth it. So again, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next week.